Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
Now, Mr. Magazine.
Anybody new to the channel, we try every Saturday to bring you BOLOs. To anybody who doesn't know what that is, BOLO stands for, do you know what that is?
I didn't before, but now I do. Yeah, it's an exquisite food based off Eastern Germany. No, be on the lookout.
Really? I might try BOLO.
Exactly. I think Aldi's has them on sale. Two for a nickel.
Beluga fish.
Exactly.
So we try to bring you BOLOs every Saturday. A lot of the items that I pick up at flea markets, estate sales, those kind of things, which tend to go on a lot, at least in this area, on Saturdays and Sundays. So we try to give you a little bit of a heads up on things to look for when you're out there. Mm-hmm. And do comment down below on anything you find, because we do love to hear about it. And you're Mr. Magazine, and you pick up things from a lot of different sources, including a compute magazine,
There
it looks like.
Yep, and I'm going to talk about this every week. Computer magazines sell, especially vintage ones. So anywhere you can find them, pick them up. You could probably pay $1, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, $1 or under,
yeah. I mean, most of mine are selling for $15 to $25. They got Bytes, one of the titles. There's TRS-80 ones, Atari, whatever. Anything computer, pick it up. It's going to sell.
Well, let me ask this question.
Sure.
You made a comment in there, and anybody who doesn't watch our live show, 7:30 every Wednesday, it's always a lot of fun. And we had a talk on the live show, which got a lot of people commenting. Very interactive show, by the way, on what is vintage. So you mentioned if you can find vintage computing magazines.
That is true.
What years sell best on the computer? I mean, obviously, if you get something from the 70s,
Yeah,
it's gonna be
70s,
really, really
early
good.
80s are the heyday when they just started growing. Anything from the 80s.
Now, what about if I could pick up a group of like 2010s? Are those worth picking up?
I would say still pick them up. Maybe you probably get them even cheaper, quarter 50 cents. I don't think you can lose out really, because there's always someone out there that wants to talk, learn about early computer stuff. So if it's 2020 now, 2010s earlier, 2000s earlier. So someone's going to want it at some point.
Should I say I buy a box of and these are things you can find at sales. So say I get a box of 50 magazines and I pay $20 for it, which is not unreasonable at a sale.
Yeah.
Should I list it, or should I stick it away in the corner and list it 5 years from now?
Yeah, if it's earlier stuff and you have other stuff to list, I certainly would put it on the back burner.
Okay, good. Hopefully that helps people out there.
All right, and excuse me, we finally sold this after 3 tries. Sadly, I pretty much broke even on it. So, I bought this for my son. We had a second one, never opened it up. I'm like, I said, why not just sell it? We really don't need 2 in our home. We don't play it enough.
PlayStation 5?
Yeah.
Is that the hot new one?
It's been hot for a year. They're hard to find still. For whatever parts they're having trouble.
So what does the sh at the end mean?
It must be shelf. Maybe the third shelf in the back of the warehouse.
Loose lips sink ships.
Yeah, that is our inventory code. Sadly, maybe that's why it's sold. They thought it was
top secret.
Yeah, but don't be like me and pay top dollar and then break even on it. If you can get these used for a deal, but people are always going to want these as well. So.
Unless, and this was another topic we touched on in our live show, was if you're a specialty dealer and it's your niche, you're going to get top dollar for that.
True, and that's not me.
Nope, not in that.
But I am a specialty magazine dealer, and here's Vintage Vogue, and I took a $150 offer on this. Yep. Early Vogues are very good. Art Deco, there's ads, you name it. They're all loaded. So there's a Tiffany ad in there.
See, and I tend to sell. I've never had that one before, but I tend to sell a lot of those when I do come across. Well, not Vogue. It's a couple of the other titles from it. I don't think I've ever had a Vogue back then.
Early Fortunes.
Those sell as well. So any of those magazines, and again, the cover helps sell that, et cetera, et cetera. I'm very impressed by that price. Yeah. Very good.
All right. Next up, I don't know if it's soccer season. I don't follow it, but this card sold for $150, so I can't argue with that. David Beckham. Let's see, Manchester United, jersey card, $150. Not too bad.
Now, near mint to mint, if that were in poor shape,
right,
creased up, what would your condition line say?
Acceptable.
Oh, see, mine would say bend it like Beckham.
Oh, well, there you go.
See what I did there?
I walked into that one.
See what I did there?
Yep, I sure walked into that. Moving on. All right, Christmas is around the corner, and we're already selling Christmas toys. This is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Holiday Figure Collection. So it seems like it sold a little cheap, but $25. I think we've had it in our store for a while. So
Well, plus 25 plus shipping on that, so that's nice. Definitely, we do these videos in advance, so this will be showing up early October. If you have not listed your Christmas stuff, get it up after this video. So watch the rest of this video, hit the like button, then immediately start listing your Christmas stuff.
In that order. Lastly, we saw comics as well. This is Marvel's Incredible Hulk, issue 162. It is, Wendigo.
Wendigo. Wow, that's worth that now, huh?
$93, and it was in, I think, fine condition, not too bad.
Wow.
Yeah, surprising. I think the crease on that corner there is the sleeve that it's in.
Oh, yeah, definitely does look like it. Wow, that's a $93 book now.
Yeah. And obviously graded, high grade, thousands of dollars, so... Yeah, very cool.
Wow, I just learned something new. Glad I watched these videos.
Well, and when I was sorting these out for my employee that was listing them, I just put it in the 1099 pile. I wasn't even thinking, I wasn't even looking at the corner. I'm like, it's not Hulk 181.
Yeah, right.
So here you go, list them 1099. And then they got, 8 bids up to the 93.
Wow, I'm...
Very cool.
Wow.
Yeah, you better pull yours out now.
That one I don't have.
But you can find these at places. And
yeah. They'd be a couple, $4 or $5 each.
You'll get the Hulk runs. Like I said, you might get 180 and 182, but you're not going to find 181. You might find 162.
No, you definitely can. Yep, I will definitely keep my eyes open for that one now. And keep your eyes open for Himalayan Industries Piggy Pack Instructions Child Carrier from Monterey, California. $21 out of that. Wow. It's literally, and it's got a heavy crease on it as well. It's, I believe I told the dimensions down below. I did not. Oops, bad job by me. It opens up. It literally just tells you how to use that carrier, and it went for $21. Probably more than the carrier goes for nowadays.
Wow.
Just goes to show that paper is an amazing thing to sell because probably not a lot of people are listing that, because you would look at that and you'd say, why would I list that? Yeah. Who would ever buy that?
I think it would be illegal to even use that carrier nowadays. It's outdated.
Something that may actually be why somebody bought it. They may have bought it because of that. Because, oh my gosh, look at how they used to do this with kids and that kind of thing. So kind of crazy there that something other like that went for $21. But happy that it did, obviously, because I paid less than that for it.
Sure.
Next item we have in here. I always put these in there to get you.
For you to say it. Come on. What is it?
Pour ne pas être my vision's not very good. Arrives pour défendre. Of course.
I was going to say pour some sugar on me. But
September 21st, 1939, World War II France. I actually got the $88 on it.
Oh, nice.
Folded in half. It's some sort of a thing.
A defense brochure, booklet?
Something? Yeah, kind of a brochure. Yeah, it opens up and all that kind of thing. And it was for what was 1939, start of World War II, kind of for the resistance movement kind of deal out there. Stay strong for France, et cetera, et cetera. Kind of a neat piece. I couldn't find any out there, so I put an $88 price on it. Ended up getting the price on it.
Very cool.
So can't argue with that. Just kind of a neat thing that a lot of people would just walk by because, again, it's hard to describe and all that kind of thing, but I did get $88 out of it. Speaking of vintage computers, you do tend to find those together at a sale. You don't tend to find them as one-offs because the person that has them tended to be into computers.
Yeah.
This gentleman happened to work at Xerox. Xerox Introduction to Basic Computer Programming, 1973. Now that's vintage. $1 a piece. Guy had 2 of this book. I bought it. Couldn't find anything on it. Threw a $59 price on it and got it. Relisted the second one out there. Cannot argue with that. The guy had a couple of other books as well. These were internal to Xerox to teach their workers how to do some programming and all that kind of thing. Definitely a difficult to find item. More than happy with $59 out of it because I paid $1 for it. And I did buy it this year, as you can tell by the price as well, with the 21 cents.
Cool.
So that's a neat item, and it kind of ties into what you were saying about the computer stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew this or not. I learned some stuff about New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
Did you know there's an Ocean Grove and an Ocean City?
I knew there was Ocean City. I didn't know anything about the Grove.
I listed this because I don't know how to read as Ocean City. Somebody said, duh, this is Ocean Grove. It says it right on it. And I said, oh, you're right. So I changed it. Did get the $34 out of it. A couple of neat things about this, though. Unfortunate, a not so neat thing, that is, as you can see, that is a heavy tear across the cover.
Yeah.
Heavy tear. but it's got a neat little Coca-Cola ad
nice,
there on the back. When you went through it, has the program that was on there. Got the $34 out of it. I believe I paid $1 for it because the condition was so bad on it. Probably, I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. Do you think this would have went for more if it were higher grade?
Yeah, we've spoke about stuff like that in the past. Maybe $50.
Maybe a little bit
if
more.
it's mint pristine, I don't think anyone's willing to pay $100. They'd rather pay $34 for that because they're probably going to
Either cut out the Kodak ad or they're going to
Yeah.
fix it up with some archival tape and,
yep.
and set it up nice for a display
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah, and that's one of the things that a lot of people, especially if you come from collectibles such as comic books, sports cards, condition is king in those.
Yeah.
You move into some of the ephemera stuff, you just can't find the stuff.
Right.
So you're happy getting it in any condition. And say 5 people, for whatever reason, want this.
Yeah.
There probably aren't 5 of these left in the world.
Well, they don't know when another one's ever going to come up, so this is their only shot at getting it.
Yeah. So it's kind of, as opposed to, geez, if I want a high-grade Hank Aaron rookie, I'm going to be able to, if I had the means to buy it, I will find one at some point in my life.
I mean, if this happens to pop up at some house where they're selling the house, they got to get rid of the contents. Most people would probably, even today, would throw that out. I think there's no value to it.
Even dealers
With the
would
crease,
because
oh
of
my
the
God, it's
condition, the tear.
exactly.
Yeah, yep. So I guess the lesson of that is, well, if it's got a Coca-Cola ad, definitely note it in the description and in the picture. But the other thing as well is something other like this, don't let the condition scare you away because it's going to have appeal.
Yep.
Next thing we have over here, do you know who Vera Newman is?
An artist that drew a blue triangle. I don't know.
There you go. I thought you were going to say she was like the waitress on Alice. We really date ourselves there.
Oh, is it Alfred E's wife?
I was just going to say Alfred E's daughter and the waitress on Alice.
Nice.
1970 retrospective numbers 57 to 60 art card scarves. This is a thing that was very difficult to describe because literally that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was a card that opened up and showed some patterns for scarves on it. She apparently, and I didn't know this until I typed it into Terapeak.
Oh, Sibley's.
Yep, from Sibley's.
Good job mentioning that. Oh, down below. All right, my bad.
No, I did
Oh, very
not.
good.
I
Okay.
did not
Wow.
again. There you
Someone's
go.
been in a hurry listening lately. You should come work for me. Fit right in.
There you go. It was hard to describe exactly what it was because I wasn't certain what it was. But what it is it shows some patterns of various scarves that she did. And if you look on the back, these are all list of other patterns that she had done in the years that she had done them in. I had no idea who she was till I typed it into Terapeak, her name, and everything that came up was scarves. And when I put her name up to list, scarves is what came up. So I did a little more research, and it turns out, she's a designer.
Could she be Vera Bradley's maiden name?
No idea whatsoever. That's a good question. I didn't really do a lot of research on her. But do you remember on the live show, 7:30s on Wednesday, where we talked about how I was happy that I didn't get a buy because the guy had the whole bunch of paste up art from Sibley's ads.
Yeah.
This was in there, and I picked this out, so I paid $1 for it. It ended up going for, I think, a $22 offer, a $20 offer.
Very cool.
Not bad out of $1. I paid for everything that I bought at that sale. So don't worry if you've got something or other that you're not really certain how to describe, because I did not know how to describe this, yet it's still sold. Do the best you can, put it up, and the people that want it will find it.
Right.
Next item we have over here is favorite of Filmland Westerns, May 1960, first issue, Have Gun Will Travel Paladin. Paladin looks like he's got a bit of a problem there.
I would say so, yeah.
I think he might be hurt. It's a comedy type thing, and it's put out with, you do a lot of things with Famous Monsters of Filmland.
Right. Yep.
It's put out by the same people. The Western one did not go very long. I did get $29 with 3 bids. Take a look at the condition. Front cover is detached. Split up spine.
Yeah.
And went for $29. Very, very good. And if you look on here, what they do is they do things inside, comedy and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
movie or TV stills, et cetera, et cetera. If you do find this in nice shape, it's a $100 to $150 magazine, just to let you know.
I might have one floating around.
There you go. And I got $29 out of it in terrible shape. Picked it up at Madison Bachville. If you haven't checked out that haul video, definitely do. It's got the smiling face of Primetime Treasure Hunter on it on the thumbnail. So definitely did pick this up out there. I think I paid $1 or $2 for it. Everybody else walked by it because of the condition.
Yeah.
Ties into off condition will sell. And the last thing I had a laugh at too. Oh, you ate one too? Van Halen in concert program, 1980 Invasion, David Lee Roth and Eddie. I only put Eddie in because no reason to put Eddie Van Halen in, because he was there at the beginning. You know, Van Halen was as well. Anybody searching Eddie Van Halen would find him. That's a little tip there to save your space. Not the greatest condition again. It's got paper damage on the front, et cetera, et cetera. Got some wear along the top. Paid 50 cents for this at a flea market.
Nice.
I was asking $54.21. Take a guess what offer the guy made me.
$51.50.
There you go. He indeed did make $51.50 as his offer. I did laugh. I accepted it. I said, thanks for the chuckle. I'm sure he'll be happy with it. Kind of a neat little item over there. And I'm actually glad I priced it for more than $50. And that might be a tip to anybody out there that is selling Van Halen. Or he may have, if I'd offered 40 something, he wouldn't have offered the 50. Yeah, right.
Maybe he would. You never know.
So if you are listing Van Halen stuff, list it for more than $51.50 because you may get an offer for that.
Exactly.
But these things are out there. Again, I paid 50 cents for this at a sale, and I bought it earlier this year. So can't argue with that to turn 50 cents into $51.50.
True.
So hopefully that helps you some. Do comment down below on the various finds that you've had. We definitely love to read about them and hear about them. And we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.